Hey, it's Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California, here today to teach you what is the difference between Tadasana, mountain pose, and Samasthiti, or otherwise known as Samasthitihi, basically standing in sameness, in equilibrium. Let's start with Tadasana. Tadasana is a pose that's traditionally done at the front of the mat with the feet together to begin the sun salutations. So, with my big toes touching, my heels will be a little bit apart, and I want to feel like all four corners of my feet, meaning the inside outside of the ball of the foot, inside outside of the heel, are all pressing down while at the same time, if possible, lifting up from your arches. This is a little bit of a complicated maneuver. I have a video about that. I will link it in the info and in the description. But by pressing down with your feet and lifting up with your arches, it's going to ignite your entire leg. Now, as the muscles of your legs engage, the thighs are going to press a little bit back energetically. In fact, they'll feel like they're rolling in a little bit. There's a challenge with this because it's going to sort of stick out your tailbone. You do not want that to happen. So even though it's thighs down, the tailbone will root. So imagine your tailbone going straight down to the floor, which lifts your pelvic bones just a little bit. At the same time, pull your front ribs down. So it feels like a core connection. Now here's where it gets a little tricky, and I have a whole video on this. In fact, I have 3 called The Secret to All of Yoga. I'll link to those as well. But even as the low ribs are pulling down, I want you to lift your sternum, chest up. Now don't forget, the thighs are pressing back, the tailbone is rooting at the same time. Shoulders are back and down, palms are open, and fingers are long. My gaze is forward, chin is parallel to the floor. So this is such a highly engaged pose. This is Tadasana. It's also Samasthiti, or again, also called Samasthitihi. Now let me just say that Tadasana is not just standing at the front of your mat. This is how I see most people getting ready for yoga. This is where the concept of Samasthiti becomes important. Because notice that every single pose in yoga ends in the word asana. Tadasana does, for example. But you know what doesn't? Samasthiti. It's not called Samasthiti asana. It's called Samasthiti, or again, Samasthitihi. That's just a sort of weird aberration in Sanskrit, how sometimes they will repeat the final syllable. So how come, A, this pose has 2 classical names associated with it, right? This isn't just like some made up Western name. These are both yoga names for this position. And B, how come Samasthitihi is the only pose that does not have asana at the end of it? Here's the answer. Remember how I said Tadasana is not just standing at the front of the mat, but it's standing fully engaged, literally from your toes to the crown of your head? That is the secret to this answer. Samasthitihi, yes, refers to the pose, but even more than that, Samasthitihi is the state that is invoked by the position of Tadasana. We start our yoga practice in an Ashtanga world, often in an Ashtanga Vinyasa world, at attention at the front of our mat. Mountain poses where we say, here I am, ready to practice yoga, okay? So the more you engage your Tadasana, the more it brings you into your greater presence and your greater awareness, then Tadasana becomes Samasthiti, the state of awareness and consciousness that I am ready to move into my practice. This is Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California. Don't forget to subscribe to my Vimeo channel where you'll get full-length classes, hundreds of them, each one unique, that are every level of challenge, every level of experience, and every duration to level you up no matter where you are. But in addition, if you go to my Yoga Superhero channel, I also have discussions on philosophy and theory so you can understand your yoga practice better. Namaste and have a great day.